So I think the key challenge here is to influence behavior in such a way that it's actually not intrusive to the customer. In other words, that it's almost a next progression of something that they're going to do. Because the moment people feel that they're being marketed to or being, let's call it, manipulated, then all defensive barriers come up. And that's the art of designing a gamification solution that's more successful. Is, well, how can I appeal to behaviors or influence behaviors in such a way that the customer just sees it as a natural progression? So let's look at an example. Let's look at, take you through a few. Some of them might be, let's go to corporate space. So one of our clients had a very traditional problem, which was all around month-end reporting. And basically, this is a tier one mobile company. And they were receiving their reports 25 days after the end of the month cycle, and had all of the manner of projects and business intelligence and analytics and warehousing projects to try and solve a particular problem in the organization. But the problem had nothing to do with technology. The problem had to do with behavior of the executives. And we had to kind of take a step back and think, well, how do we influence the behavior of the executives to such an extent that they don't feel like they're being influenced, but they actually change their behavior? And what we eventually implemented was a very light bit of technology which allowed them to submit their opinions on reports and decisions into a journey. And they would submit their reports, and this little system would collate all of the information and produce an output which they would use at the executive meeting. But what it did specifically was we appealed to a reputation driver that sat within these individuals, and specifically their need to manage risk and manage reputation in front of the other executives. And we tracked them as they submitted information, and we tracked them on how long it took them to come to a decision based upon the information that they'd submitted before they then resubmitted it into the reporting pipeline. And then at the end of the month, when all the executives got together and made decisions, we'd have a simple leaderboard with some badges and that, which is very traditional gamification stuff. And that showed who were the most effective producers, who produced the greatest insight into the business that allowed them to make decisions. Do you know that we got that month-end reporting procedure down from 25 days to 5, just by tackling the levers on the executives and how they submitted those reports? Then we used other technologies to try and reduce it even further, but ultimately that was a behavioral problem, and that was a very good example around gamification internal to a business and how we can change behavioral aspects of individuals going through a simple process like the month-end reporting.